Hi there, it's Carrie from Carrie Fit, owner of Carrie Fit and the creator of the ABC Method, now nationally accredited certificate course to teach work in the field of core stability for fitness and wellness professionals. I'm also the author of Flatten My Postpartum Belly, and I created the diastasis recti recovery system. I'm the owner of Carrie Fit, which is carriefit.com. I have classes on demand and classes coming out all the time. And what I thought would be fun would be to pop in here and just do a quick live Pilates class with you, especially if you're a beginner and you don't really know what to expect. So you have like a sample, and I'm also turning on my Instagram. So give me just a second here. Hi there. Welcome to Carrie Fit Live. I'm about to do a beginning Pilates class on my mat down there with you. And we're also being joined by my group here on YouTube. So I need to adjust that camera there as well. So all you'll need for this little beginning class is a mat and your own body. Okay. And again, this is for beginners. So if you have taken Pilates for a while, then you can up level or move at a different pace from me. Also, be aware that if you are a beginner in Pilates, guess what? As you practice, it doesn't get easier. It actually gets harder because you learn how to do the exercise better and you find the muscle groups better. So it actually makes the work tougher and you never graduate from it. So even a beginner's Pilates class can always feel challenging to someone who is well versed in the practice. So what I want you to do is I want you to roll onto your side and then onto your back. We're going to start from this supine position. Make sure that everybody can see me. Put your shoulder blades down flat on the floor and make the back of your neck long. And the back of your head is down. So if you struggle here, if you cannot put your head down on the floor while keeping your shoulder blades flat, then you can stick a little something under your head like a rolled up towel or a block. Then I want you to go ahead and just sort of tuck the back of your ribs down on the floor, and I want you to tuck the small of your back on the floor. Your knees are bent and your feet are flat on the floor. Your legs are also in line with your hips. So for right now, don't press your knees together or set them far apart. Have them just parallel to each other, right in line with your hips. And I want you to sort of feel this flatness happen from hip bone to hip bone across the front of your pelvis. It's like you're zipping up something one size too tight, and you're also lengthening the front body and the back body all at the same time. I want you to breathe into your lungs to expand into the floor, into the mat. And I want you to exhale and feel all the muscles knit together across your body towards the middle and up towards your heart. As you breathe in, expand your rib cage all the way around into your back, but keep your tummy flat and keep that zipped up feeling. And as you exhale, feel all the muscles knit together all the way across your body and everything drawing up and in towards your heart. Let's do that a couple more times. As you breathe in, keep the navel and the pelvis down and flat. Expand your rib cage all the way around. Keep your shoulder blades flat. And then as you exhale, tuck everything in. Feel the muscles knit together all the way across your tummy and your back. And one more time, inhale and expand the rib cage and the diaphragm 360 degrees all the way around into your back. And as you exhale, feel all the muscles knit together. Feel that zipped up feeling right here in the front body, lengthen the back body. Okay, so as we go into this next part, I want you to remember to keep the shoulder blades flat. And if you start to feel them pop up like this, I need you to settle those shoulders back down, because that's a very important element. We also don't want strain on the neck, and we also don't want to start sticking our chest or our rib cage out. So all ribs are created equal. Have them all in line with each other, in line with the hips, keeping the ribs tucked down. And as you breathe, you're expanding into your back, into the mat, expanding all the way around. Take a breath. As you exhale, your tailbone is going to be the leader, and it's going to go up towards the sky an extra 2 inches. You're also flattening and lengthening the front body and the back body at the same time and sort of doing this flat tuck of the front of the pelvis. As you inhale, set that back down. It's like a 2-inch tuck and curl. It's not huge, it's not extreme, and you're not slamming your butt up and down. As you exhale, tuck and let the tailbone be the leader to go towards the sky. As you inhale, set it back down. Now also, Sometimes we have a tendency of letting our knees fall open when we bring that tailbone up. I want you to keep the legs just as they are. Exhale to tuck that tailbone up toward the sky. Inhale to set it down. Last time, tuck up. Don't let your shoulders help you. Keep them relaxed. And inhale down. Now this is going to expand into our Pilates bridge, which means that we are peeling the spine off the mat, starting with that tuck of the tailbone. So exhale to tuck the tailbone, tailbones toward the sky. Continue to peel up off of the floor, one vertebra at a time. And I want you to end in a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Make sure your knees are still in line with your hips, parallel to each other, that all ribs are created equal, that your tummy is still flat, and that you still have this flatness in the pelvis and the length in the back. Take a breath here at the top. And that means all the way around, but not expanding the belly. Exhale as you peel back down. So as you peel back down, you're going to put each vertebra down by itself, including the small of your back. And depending on the make of your back, it might not want to do that, okay? So that's part of the challenge. You do the best you can to articulate the spine back down. Take a breath here at the bottom. Exhale, start with the tailbone first, and then peel the spine off of the floor, one vertebra at a time, rolling it up off the floor, getting that nice length in the front body and the back body, keeping the ribs tucked down and the body in line here at the top. Take a breath. As you exhale, peel the spine back down, starting from the top, putting each vertebra down by itself. Tuck that tailbone more than you think you need to, because that's the last thing down. Tailbone is the leader, which means that he leads from the front, going into battle, and then leads from the back, leaving battle, okay? Breathe here at the bottom. Exhale, tuck the tailbone up first. Peel the spine off the floor, one vertebra at a time. Get space for each vertebra. Shoulder blades stay down on the floor. Breathe here at the top. Exhale, tuck and roll back down. One vertebra at a time, tucking that navel up and in, really feeling each piece come down, including the small of the back, all the way down to the floor. How about we do one more just because they're fun? Take a breath here at the bottom. Exhale, start with the tailbone. Peel the spine off the floor, one vertebra at a time. Get each piece, and the shoulder blades stay down, and your hips are super strong, right? Take a breath here. And exhale and peel back down. One vertebra at a time, really tucking the belly up and in, all the way up and all the way down, keeping that level of engagement and flatness here. Okay, I want you to lay your legs all the way out on the floor. And when you do that, we're just sort of allowing our back to separate from the floor. So our natural curve of our spine has our shoulder blades down and our hips down, but some space between the lower back and the floor. I want you to slide one hand or both hands in that space. Now for me, my right hand slides pretty well. My left hand is going to rest. Try to keep that shoulder blade flat on the floor. Take a breath into your lungs, so keep the belly tucked up and in. Breathe into your lungs all the way around. As you exhale, you're just going to put a little bit of pressure on your hand and really feel all the muscles tighten in and come up towards your heart. Take a breath and release the pressure. Exhale and press lightly into your hand, feeling all the muscles around the center of your body engage. And one more time, breathe. And exhale, engage. And then keep that engagement here. Keep the girdle all the way around your body and slide the hand back out. Cool. Go back into the bent knee position. Tuck your tailbone back under slightly so that your lower back can rest on the floor. Shoulder blades are down and flat. Back of the neck is nice and long. And we're going to practice the 100 from this position first. So the 100, if you've ever seen it, is a pump of the arms and then trying to control the rest of the body so that it doesn't move around. So a lot of Pilates is controlology, controlling the body while you're moving levers around the center. So just put your hands halfway between your knees and your hips, but your shoulder blades are still down. And you're going to pump your arms fast and hard like you're slapping water, trying to move them really fast. And you're going to breathe into your lungs at the same time. So you breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't let anything move, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2. Now take a moment right here. I want you to take your right leg up into a 90-degree angle. So not all the way into your chest, put the knee over the hip and put your toe in a high-heeled shoe. All right, same thing. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop for a moment. Right leg comes down. Left leg comes up. Same idea. Knee right over hip. Zip the tummy up and in. Shoulder blades are down. Here we go. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set the leg down and rest. Now I want you to just allow the hands to come up and over your head. Breathe in as they come up over your head. Do not let any rib, any piece of your spine or your shoulders leave the ground. Exhale as they come back down. Breathe in and reach up. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale back down. All this is shoulder flexibility and getting used to not allowing the ribs to flare up toward the sky, right? So our tendency is to go to the edge of the shoulder flexibility and then go into thoracic flexibility, which means sticking your chest out. But I want you to keep your chest, your ribs, and your spine all in line. Exhale on the way down. A couple more. Breathe in and reach. And exhale. And one more like that. Breathe in and reach. And exhale. Great. Let's bring the arms straight up over the chest. Shoulder blades are down and back. Turn your palms to face each other. And then we're just going to swim them like this. Nice and easy. Getting used to that flexibility in the shoulder without moving anything else. And one more. And then come back to the center and come in and out. Same thing. Do not let the shoulder blade leave the floor. You might feel the shoulder move around, but don't let it leave the floor. And 2, and 1. Then I want you to press your hands together without letting the shoulders leave the ground. Press, 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 press. And then you're going to bring the hands up overhead. Don't allow the hands to leave each other and don't let the shoulders leave the ground. That's your inhale. Exhale to come back over the chest. Breathe in. Press those hands hard together. Hard, 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 hard. Exhale back over the chest. Breathe in. Press, 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 press. And exhale. And breathe. Keep the shoulder blades down. Nice functional shoulder. And exhale down. You might not be able to go very far, just depending on the flexibility of your shoulder today. And that's fine. You do where you are today. You don't push yourself past the boundary. You go to it, not past. Exhale down. 2 more to go. Breathe. And exhale. And breathe. And exhale. Good. Bring those arms back down. We're going to do a single leg pull, which turns into a different exercise later on. But for right now, you're going to bring that right leg all the way into your chest and give it a big hug. Exhale. Inhale, set it down. Other side. Bring it in. Exhale. And inhale to set it down. Now, as you're coming in and out, remember, we're always tucking that navel up and in and away from the thigh, and we don't lose that level of engagement on the inhale or on the exhale. Okay, I'm going to show you level 2 also, so you stay here if you're just learning the practice. Going into level 2, we're just going to straighten out the legs and just makes the lever a little bit bigger. Exhale, inhale long. Exhale here. Inhale, keeping the navel pulled up and in. Exhale here. Inhale long. Exhale here. Inhale long. One more on each leg. Exhale here. Inhale long. And exhale here. And inhale long. Great. Go back into the bent knee position. This time I want your knees all the way together. And I want you to pretend like you zipped up something from your knees to your sternum. So really press those inner thighs together. Feel that engagement happen on the inner thighs. All the way through the pelvis. All these muscles are working together now. And then I want your arms out. So you're making a letter T with your body. Shoulder blades are down. Palms are up toward the sky. I want you to inhale as you drop your knees to one side. But what I want you to do is not allow the knees to slide away from each other. They stay the same length. Also, both shoulders stay down. So you're tilting your pelvis to the side using your side muscles, but you have to keep the inner thighs squeezed together and the knees the same length. Once your knees are not the same length anymore, you've lost the exercise, okay? So this is a little spinal stretch as well as an oblique exercise. Exhale to come back to the center. Inhale to go the other way. Keep both shoulder blades down. Find your flexibility and don't go past it. Exhale back to the center. Inhale to the side. Now, here's what I want you to think about. When you come back to the center, scoop that belly up and in. Nice and strong. Exhale, scoop. Inhale to the side. Exhale, scoop. Pull that navel up and in. Breathe in. Get flexibility in the spine. Exhale, scoop up towards the center. Inhale to the side. Exhale to scoop. Inhale to the side. Exhale, scoop. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale back to center. Okay, grab your right knee. Pull it into your chest. Now your left leg can stay right here with the bent leg position with your foot flat, or you can lay it all the way down on the ground if you're comfortable with the flexibility here. This means that you have to have enough flexibility in your hips to keep that leg anchored down so it's not just popping. So we're either here or we're here, okay? Now with this right leg, I want you to bring it back up over that hip joint. I want you to keep it in a 90-degree angle, and I want you to push your thigh and your hands into each other until you feel a little something extra happen in the middle of your body. Now that level of engagement there, you're going to keep that level while you release the hands. Keep the tummy holding the leg up. And we're going to draw a circle with our shin bone, like you're scrubbing the ceiling. So just find that circle. As your toe goes away from your face, you're inhaling. As your knee comes towards your face, you're exhaling. Breathe in, exhale. Now, nothing else is moving. Ribs are not moving. Shoulder blades are laying flat. Tummy is pulling up and in and staying steady and strong. Hip bones are facing the sky. Ribs are staying tucked down. Your circle is what you can control. Go to the boundary, not past it. Go in this direction and stop here, and let's go the other way, which might feel different. Just respect that it might feel different going the other way. So strong inner thighs, you go across the body. You're keeping that shin bone parallel to the ceiling and the floor, like it's scrubbing the ceiling. I'm hearing a pop, pop in my hip joint. Okay, so that is an indication that I really need to stretch those hip flexors. And exhale around, and one more time. And exhale around, and then grab the knee. And then set that foot down. Lay it all the way out. Maybe you need a moment to wiggle. Bend that left knee. Bring it into your chest. Grab it, pull it, give it a hug. And then grab behind the hamstring, behind the thigh. Bring that knee right over your hip bone and push your thigh and your hands into each other until you feel a little extra something. Now, your right leg is supporting you either flat on the ground or bent knee with the foot flat. Okay, choose one. And then as you have that nice core contraction, you just release the hands with the same idea. Tummy is now holding the leg up. So start your scrubbing in one direction. Breathe in as the toe goes away. Exhale as the knee comes towards you. Now that opposite leg should not be rolling around. It's your anchor point. So if you feel like it's rolling around, decrease the size of your circle and focus on keeping the pelvis still and quiet. Exhale as that knee comes around. Tummy's nice and strong. Ribs are tucked down. Breathe in as it goes away. Exhale as it comes up. Shoulder blades stay down. Body is in control. And then you're going to stop at the top. And let's go the other way. So squeeze the inner thighs as it goes past. Do not lift the hips off the floor. No pelvis rotation right now. This is all control. Breathe in as the toe goes away. Exhale as the knee comes towards you. Here's two. And here's one. Then give it a hug. And you're doing great. Set that foot down. I'm going to have you flip over now to lay on your belly, called prone position. Okay, so I want you to just fold your hands, put your forehead in them. Pull your shoulder blades away from your ears like you're putting your shoulders in your pockets. Tuck your tailbone until you feel like your navel can zip up towards your heart. So you want to keep that same level of zip up and flatness no matter which position we're in. So as we've turned over, We don't want to then lose the core engagement. We want to keep it taut. And what's great about this position is that you can feel like you're pulling away from the floor. You're also going to lengthen your spine in both directions. So pressing out through the crown of your head, pressing down through the base of your spine, trying to get length there. So we got length in the front body, length in the back body, and strength all the way around. Cool? Okay, so head is in your hands. Shoulder blades are down. And all I want you to do is lift your elbows. So just lift and lower those elbows while you're pressing your shoulders down towards your pockets. Here's what I want you to be aware of. I don't want the shoulders to shrug or to leave your shoulder joint in order for your elbows. So this is what I see a lot. I see shoulders coming up like this to try to control it, or I see shoulders shrugging like this. I want the shoulders to remain down and flat and just to lift and lower the elbows. I also don't want your tummy to try to help you by pushing down into the floor. So if your elbows are not moving today, don't judge yourself for it. That is just a flexibility thing, and it's something to work on, and that's why we practice, right? So just keep going and doing the best you can, even if they're not moving. It's the intention of moving that matters. Breathing. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the elbows rest. Now I want you to bend your right knee and flex your right foot. Left leg is going to stay where it is. Now, as we're lifting and pressing that heel towards the ceiling, which is our next assignment, keep in mind that we don't want to turn. Not right now. That's not what we're doing. We're keeping the front and the back body really, really still, and we're pressing the heel up towards the sky. So it might be super tiny. Mine is super tiny today. And I know that again, I'm needing more flexibility in my hips. Don't worry, we'll stretch when we're finished. But it's also to strengthen and lengthen all of the muscles in the back body. They're super important for the stability of our pelvis, of our core, of our torso. It's just nice and easy pressing that heel up toward the sky without rotating the pelvis and without changing the upper body. And if you get a nice little extra burn in the glute, nobody's complaining, right? All right, so shoulders are down and back. Keep going for me. Keep that navel pulled away from the floor. And here's 2. And here's 1. Right leg comes down, left leg bends. So you've got a flex of the foot, and you're going to start pressing. Now, the other thing that I see happen here a lot is like a turn out of the leg. So like trying to turn the knee out or the leg out to try to get it up. I don't want that today. I want the leg to just stay in line with the hip bone so that we're forced to use the glute and the muscles in the lower back. And don't we want stronger muscles there? Yes, we do. For all the reasons. The rest of the body is nice and quiet and still, and it is a tiny, tiny movement. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then lay the legs all the way out. Now we're going to do a straight leg kick, one leg at a time. Same idea, we're not wiggling our tail. We're keeping the tail tucked under and strong and the navel lifting out of the floor. And then it's a very slow kick today, okay? Because we're focused on lengthening through the lower back and using those nice, long, strong muscles. Do not bend your knee for this exercise. Knee is straight, leg is straight, relatively pointed. If pointing hurts, then put it in a high-heeled shoe. Head is relaxed, neck is relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. You're not switching side to side with your body. In other words, you're not rocking and rolling. If we were actually swimming in a pool, we would be, but this is not the same. This is stability, controlology. So nice and long through those legs. And let's do a couple more on each side. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the legs rest for a moment. I want to do one more for the shoulders and the upper back as well. So you can keep your head in the fist of one hand and then bring the other arm out to the side in a long. So straight out past the shoulder blade down towards the pockets. The fist helps with alignment. So you've got your forehead and your fist. And all you're going to do with that long outstretched arm is just lift it. Lift and reach. And just see where that is for you today. Again, we're not rotating or rolling the body around to try to get more length and more height. We're just trying to see where it is today. So where is the strength and length in that shoulder joint? And we go to that boundary and not past it. And we take our time. Nice, long, and strong. Out to the side here. Keeping the navel lifted out of the floor. If you're struggling with a rounded, slouchy posture, this is one of those exercises that you're going to need to practice for a while in order to get the strength and length in the shoulder and the upper back that will help you improve that. The slouchy, rounded posture is not helpful when it comes to any part of your chain getting healthier, including your breathing, digestion, your back, your pelvis, everything is impacted by a slouchy forward rolled position. Your mom was right when she told you in 6th grade to stand up straight. Let's do a couple more like that. And set that side down. Okay, so now we're switching hands. So the other hand is out to the side. You've got your head resting on your fist, and you just start to lift and lower. Now, what I want you to notice also is the difference from one side to another. So for me, my right side is going to have more flexibility and strength than my left side. Is that the same or different for you? It does depend on our daily activities and how our bodies function. And it's okay, but we have to notice it, and then we want to work towards better, right? So every time we practice, we want to work towards making our sides feel evenly strong and flexible. We're not rolling out to the side. We're not shrugging our shoulder. Plenty of space for a nice long neck here. Nice and easy. Easing that arm up and down. So I don't want you popping your shoulder joint out in order to lift. I want the shoulder joint to stay down. So the difference is the pop. See if I can do it from the seated position. You keep going. The pop and then trying to lift is different from just lifting. So don't pop to lift. Just lift straight out of the joint. Here's 3. Here's 2. Here's 1. And set it down. Okay. Now I want you to come up to a seated position. Now from a seated position, we want to have that same beautiful posture that we had when we were laying on our back and on our tummy. So we want really, really tall through the back of the head and really long through the base of the spine. We don't want to be pushed forward with our chest like this, and we don't want to be slouchy through our upper back like this. So if you struggle to sit on the floor with this nice lifted posture, I invite you to sit on a chair for this part, or at least lift your hips a little bit off the floor. You can still do these next exercises sitting in a chair or with those hips lifted. It is more important to get this correct before you start than anything else. The exercise won't make as much sense if you're not aligned. All right, so we're going to work on this upper portion of our rectus abdominis for a moment. If you can get your legs out straight, then do it. If this is not possible for you, if you're sitting in a chair, that's fine. Your knees can be bent. If you're sitting on the floor and you can't get your legs all the way out, go to right here. Wherever you need to go, again, for this posture to be correct before you begin. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to tuck the ribs and we're going to round the spine, and then we're going to sit all the way back up. Can you try that with your hands right here first? So have your hands here at the base of your ribs, and they're going to tuck those ribs under, and you're going to round the top of your spine, and then you're going to sit back up. This is prep work actually for roll-ups and sit-ups. This is the part of the rectus abdominis that we need to strengthen in order to get there. And this is also a part that's very delicate after a pregnancy or issues with the core. So nice and tall, sit up nice and tall. Exhale and roll and tuck the top of the rectus abdominis and that area right under your sternum, up and in, and then sit up. Breathe, exhale. Breathe, nice and tall. Shoulders down and back. And nice and tall. And exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. And breathe in. Okay, now we're going to work a little bit on our obliques. So I want you to take your legs a little bit wider in like a V. But again, if you need to pop your knees, you're right here, or you're sitting on a chair with your knees a little bit wider than your hips. Okay? I want you to find the bottom rib on one side and the hip bone on the other. The rib is going to go towards the hip on the opposite side while pulling the navel up and in. That's your exhale. Your inhale is to sit back up tall. It's just rib to hip. It's nothing crazy. Exhale, tuck the tummy up and in. Rib goes toward the hip. Hips stay the same. Exhale up. So the hips are not wiggling around. The hips are staying square and firm in the floor. Exhale here. How do I know if my ribs are staying still, Carrie? Well, you'll feel them shift or you'll see your feet shift. Keep your feet and your knees the same. Keep your hips down and use the oblique muscle to do that work. If you feel it bulging outwards, you're going too far. Always in, always in. Exhale. Inhale up. And let's switch sides. Find the rib on the other side. Find the hip on the other side. Nice and tall. And exhale. Rib toward hip. And you might find one side's different from the other. This one's definitely different for me because I've always had a different rib alignment on my left side. And I think that was a pregnancy thing. It might be the same for you. If so, you do the best you can. Exhale, rib to hip. Inhale up. Really think strong across that body. Nothing crazy here. Inhale up. And exhale. And inhale up. Couple more to go. Remember, our hips are down. Knees are down. And lift. And exhale. And lift. Great. Wiggle, waggle those knees, those hips, and your spine. Allow things to loosen up here for just a moment. We're going to go now into a little bit of extra flexibility for hips, legs, and shoulders. Bring your feet in a little bit closer. Try to get them straight. If you're sitting on a chair, that's fine. We're still going to be working on the back body, but I want you to, if you can, get somewhere where you can get the backs of your legs straight and your spine as straight as they're willing to be today. Okay? Take a breath, sit up super tall. Exhale and just hinge from your hips. Just that much. So for me, that's it. Like I can't go any further and keep the straight line from head to hips and keep straightness in my legs. Now for some of you, you're like this, and that's also okay. We're lengthening here and trying our best to get to a straighter, longer position. And breathe into the back of the legs and your lower back. And then we're going to go ahead and allow the lower back to flex. So we're here with this long lower back. Take an extra breath, get taller. As you exhale, you're allowing the lower back to flex. And that's to add length here in the lower back all the way through the hips and through the hamstrings. Remember to keep the feet flexed up towards the sky like they're cinder blocks. Knees are this far apart, and that helps them stay in line with your hips. Notice I didn't collapse over my legs. It's just allowing the spine to flex while allowing the legs to get longer. That's all it is. Nothing crazy. And then sit up nice and tall. Put the bottoms of your feet together from a tall position. So sits bones are down, back of the head nice and tall, and don't stick your ribs out. So ribs are in line with hips as well. Hands are wherever they can reach. Shin bones, ankles, feet, whatever. Open the knees to the side to the best of your ability today. Take an extra breath here. And as you exhale, just bend your elbows. As you bend your elbows, you're getting that Hinge from your hips again, not a collapse. Do not collapse over your legs. Think length in the lower back, length from the back of the neck, nice and long all the way through the spine, and you're opening your inner thighs at the same time. Change your hand position if you need to. And come on up and release that. Now we're going to go into a low lunge, whatever that means for you. So what I like to do is come up to a standing position, put one foot in front of the other. Both feet are facing the same direction, and they're in line with our hips. So you're not on a tightrope. This leg is in line with this hip. This leg is in line with this hip. I'm going to bend the front knee, and I'm going to put my hands on something stable. So for me, I've got a piece of furniture here. I'm going to put my hands on it, making sure that my spine stays nice and long. So I'm not collapsing over my front leg. Back is nice and long. Back leg, it gets nice and long. And if you want to, you can come down to the floor as long as your spine can stay long. Push back through that back leg. Get the front of this thigh long. That's our goal. So it's this muscle here in the front of your thigh that can sometimes get super short, and it impacts everything in your life. It's called the psoas. I've done a lot of work on it, PSOAS. Look up any of my work on that, and you'll see it has so much impact on everything. Your back, your pelvis, your alignment, like all the things. So we're trying to lengthen that little guy out, and it's so important and valuable. Yes, and so for everybody, this low lunge looks different, but I want you to push back into the back knee or back heel, getting super long in the front of the thigh, and forward in the bent knee, but not allowing the knee to go past the foot. Okay, and then we come up out of it however you need to, and we're going to switch legs. So the other leg is going to be in the front. Remember, legs line up with hips. Start with hands on a piece of furniture if you've got it there available to you. You can also put your hands on blocks if you have blocks available to you. And then hands can come to the floor if your spine is nice and long and straight. Otherwise, keep your hands higher. If I were on blocks today, it would just support me to allow me to get that nice long length without collapsing into my back, okay? So pressing back to that back heel, forward through the front knee, trying to get lots of space in that hip flexor, the front of that thigh. Breathing into both legs. Back stays nice and long and flat and straight. So valuable and so important. Don't forget to stretch these guys. We sit or we do cardio or whatever, it impacts this so much. And give those muscles some oxygen. Don't forget to breathe. Okay, coming out of it, now we're going to stretch our shoulders a bit. So I'm going to have you come down onto the floor, onto your belly again. And you're going to take your right arm, you're going to reach it out to the side, all the way out to the side next to your shoulder. Bend your left knee and put your left hand under your left shoulder. You're going to push with your left hand until you can put your left toe down, keeping the right palm against the floor. This is a great shoulder stretch, but only go as far as it feels like you're getting a stretch. It should not go past the point of flexibility where it feels like you're just getting a nice, easy stretch. So if you're here and you didn't make it all the way over, perfectly fine. Do what your shoulder needs from you today. Ease yourself out of it. And let's do the other side. Left arm is out. Right knee bends. Push it over. Get that nice, easy stretch in that shoulder. The left palm against the floor. Ease yourself into that stretch. Take it nice and easy. And then ease yourself out of it. Now you're going to come all the way back to sit on your heels. So come up, sit back on your heels, stretch your arms out in front of you and try to get your shoulders closer to the ground. Also try to get your hips close to your heels. Nice and long through your spine. And then we're going to have a seat. How do you feel? Do you feel a little more open, a little longer, a little stronger, a little more connected and engaged? That's what Pilates does. It literally makes us longer, which makes our lives function a little bit better. And once you find that center in Pilates and you take the lessons that you've learned in Pilates and you apply them to your life and to other elements of fitness that you do, it changes everything. It makes everything just that much more efficient. Take a breath in and reach. Exhale. And one more time, breathe. And exhale. I love you. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Enjoy the rest of your day and keep it real.